Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Y'all Gaming, the only show on the internet that asks if y'all are gaming. I'm Coney. That's TK. Fresh and back from Summit. I am exhausted. I was at Summit and I didn't get home until midnight last night because Delta kind of screwed me over. So, kind of mad at them. But
hey, what happened?
I had a 35-minute layover, and they booked me on a 35-minute layover, and then they wouldn't let us off the plane. We landed late, and then they wouldn't let us off the plane. They did that thing where the door is closed forever. So I missed my second flight, and they didn't tell them to hold it for us. And the guy even said that he was told not to. So I'm kind of pissed off because that makes me feel like it's kind of personal. You know, it's just kind of annoyed. But whatever. Doesn't matter. It's done. I'm home now. I'm just tired. And we're here for Y'all Gaming. So hello, everybody. How was your travel home experience?
I didn't miss any flights, but it was, well, honestly, I was so tired because we stayed up the whole night that I actually managed to get the sleep on both planes. But I flew from Ontario to Seattle and then Seattle back home. So I basically did a big ass triangle. The Seattle flight is actually like 3.5 hours, or like, well, I think it's actually like closer to 4 now.
Okay.
And it always throws me off because I'm like, wow, like from the top to the bottom of the U.S. doesn't look that long, but
Sure.
it actually is. And so that was whatever, but I slept through pretty much the whole flight except for the last 30 minutes. And I got home and I was just too tired to do like literally anything. I'm still suffering from that. I'm still pretty tired. But the show must go on, got to get some stream hours in, got to get those subs back and all that stuff.
Sure. I'm going to be on tonight watching that Evo thing, which we could talk about next week perhaps, because Evo's announced their lineup at 8. But first, we got some stuff to talk about. First off, I know you didn't play it, and I don't think we talked about it last time. Elden Ring is insane. This might be one of the best games ever made.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say about it. It is insane that a project this ambitious actually works and it's good all the way through. Cause like the level of scope is absurd. Just how much stuff there is. It all feels man-made and actually crafted, not just like procedurally generated or something. Like I can't even. I don't even have the words to describe it. And it just makes me feel worse for Horizon, which kind of got eaten up.
Well, it's the Horizon curse.
I played Horizon for 6 to 8 hours, and I liked it, but I don't think I'll ever turn it back on now. Because, Jesus, this game is my life.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what type of gamer you are. I think you've already liked FromSoft games. I played a decent amount of Bloodborne, and while it was a cool experience, I don't really feel like I would ever get so sucked into it that I'm going to like I would replay it or anything like that. Like if I beat it, I'd be like, I gotta try it with another weapon. Like that just didn't happen for me.
Sure.
But yeah, I already kind of knew I was gonna for I know I'm like the odd one out when it comes to this. Like I knew that once again, Horizon's been shafted by a bigger genre-defining game coming out right after it, thus making that one look much less feasible. So probably got to wait again for the next for that PC release, and hopefully nobody's around for that one. But at the same time, though, I don't know, I feel like Elden Ring is easier to stream because frustration sets in, and people love frustration. And you don't really get that from a single player adventure game like Zelda or Horizon or nothing like that. Like those games are made to be beat, while Elden Ring is made to be beat once you learn some shit. And probably it's a trial and error game, and people like to see the error a lot.
What's weird to me is the fact that Elden Ring is such high viewership across the board, but and I think I said this before, it feels like Elden Ring is high viewership across the board, but lower individually. Like, if you look at the channels that are playing them, I feel like the viewership is lower on all these channels than it usually is, but it's still the number 3 most played game on Twitch, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And, by a long shot. Like if you look at these, it's like 50K over League, nearly. So it's a
Did you
good
see?
game.
Did you play like Sekiro
Yeah, yeah, it was very good too.
like that? All right, word. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know there's like flavors of like where people go when it comes to these FromSoft games. Like people who like Bloodborne don't necessarily always like Sekiro, and
sure.
vice versa. And some of the Dark Souls people like are true Dark Souls, Demon Souls only type people. So
Hmm.
it's just interesting to see like where the line toes. But I actually have not seen a single bad thing about Elden Ring except for people who are getting bodied by it. But that's not even them saying like the game is bad. That's just saying that you know they're frustrated for being bad.
No, it's excellent. The only gripe that I had was that it feels, and this is what I predicted when I saw the footage, is that it just feels like Dark Souls 4, and it definitely does, because you could take any area in this game and put it into Dark Souls, and it would feel the same. Like it doesn't feel that different. I haven't beaten the game yet. I have to beat the game so I can watch a lore video so I can figure out what the hell I just played. But if the story goes the way that I think it's going to go, I'm going to be I'm very excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's very weird. And I think I know where they're going, but that's all for another day. Elden Ring is very good. So the second thing we
Nice.
wanted to talk about was Summit, which we just got back from a week-long trip watching, well, not really competed, but commentating Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It was fun. It was a good time.
So yeah, I still, my only gripe for Summon is stop bringing me out a day early if we're not going to do anything.
Yeah, the
But
media
other
day
than
is a little
that,
tough.
yeah, it's media day, but it's the fact that we get there. Like my flight to Summit got me there like 3 p.m. because there was no other option for me.
Mm.
I was either getting there at 3 p.m. or I wasn't getting there at all uh, on Tuesdays. And then I go there and then I sit uh, in the Summit area for uh, hours doing absolutely nothing while top players will play. Sometimes we'll do some friendlies and stuff. But I've never been able to just sit and play friendlies for 8 hours. Like never. Even when I was like even in my prime of playing like Smash or Brawl when I was like still super hyped to play games. There was no way you're ever going to get me to sit down for 8 straight hours and play friendlies. So
Mm-hmm.
that's that's our only complaint. Outside of that, Summon has got like the sketches were pretty decent this time. The fun stuff that they did was actually amazing. The what was that? The flight simulator thing is probably the best thing they've ever put on Summit.
Plain sim, yeah, super fun.
Yeah, that was fun. The Wheel of Boy, I feel like that was pretty good too, but I think like we didn't get the best pieces of the BS, so it probably could be better with better roles, but that is what it is. Um, Going past that, the competition was really good. I think they had to figure out something to do with those tiebreakers because that was eating up a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I was gonna say they had to do something about breaks too, but I don't think that's them. I think that's just like a Twitch deal. Twitch is always like run this many ads. So
Well, I'm sure it's got to be a little bit of both. I'm sure they're also making that money, but it's
yeah,
I mean the competition was higher than it's ever been. I had a lot of fun. I know they're going to do more plain stuff in the future because it went very well. Um, I'm interested to see how they change it up with next summit if they even have to, because I know they're going to be doing the melee summit probably in 3 months and then ultimate again in 6. I think they already booked off the time. So
hmm
um, yeah, summit's always a good time. I wanted to watch Batman while we were there, but unfortunately we got out at like 10:30 every night, which meant it's a 3-hour movie, so we didn't do that. So
yeah.
it's a very
That was
busy
not
event.
going to happen. There's literally no way on my East Coast Central Time was I going to be able to watch a movie that ended at one something when it was really 3 to 4 something
Yeah, that's
for me.
insane.
Nah, that wasn't going to be it.
No,
But eventually we'll get around to it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But that was Summit. I thought it went well. I think we're excited for the future of Smash. We could talk about that all day, but that's not
yeah.
really what the show is
Big
about.
shouts to Spargo though. Like
Yeah,
finally getting that W. I know that like he's not the best kid to interview. Like I feel like he's still very shy, and like that's no slight at him. He's a young kid. Like you're doing a lot of things that 16-year-olds would only dream of. There's 16. I think I've been on a plane like twice by that time. So
Sure.
yeah, that kid he's doing it up, man. That he's on it. So I'm understanding he's gonna have to like navigate through that while he's still growing up, while he's still doing regular kid shit, like going to high school and whatnot. But you got to be like the coolest kid in high school now, man. Like just
Right.
there's
Yeah.
like literally no way you're not the coolest. I mean, back in my day, back when we were in high school, being a nerd was not cool. But like now, being a nerd is like everyone's a nerd. Yeah, everyone's quirky. Yeah, whatever. So I'm sure that he's got to be like the king of his high school somehow, even though he never says anything.
If they even know, I wonder if people even know about that stuff.
How do you? But like, how do you not
Keep it a secret? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
it's just
I think it was
low-key.
easier for us. Well, because I remember you didn't really say too much about it in your old job.
No.
It's probably easier for you, but like if you were winning, like consistently, or you were talked about in all these articles, that's going to show up in front of somebody at some point in time.
Maybe you get this found out at some point. Somebody will realize what you're doing. Who knows? But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
Like he's walking down the hallways, and they're like, "Wait, you're Spargo?" Like, okay, buddy. Like,
Yeah, it'd be quite a discovery. I mean, the dude just won like $50,000, so it's crazy. And before we get to our third topic, guys, did you know that browsing online using incognito mode still doesn't actually protect your privacy, which means everybody could see it? It's a terrible idea. That's why I use IPVanish VPN. It makes it easy to stay truly private and secure on the internet. They're offering a 70% off their yearly plan for listeners, 30-day money-back guarantee, which is basically getting 9 months for free. Very easy to use. You just hit one button and you're instantly protected, and you won't even know that it's on. You're going to leave it on by accident all the time. Go to ipvanish.com/y'allgaming. Use promotional code y'allgaming with no apostrophe, please, because then it won't work. And you get 70% savings. ipvanish.com/y'allgaming. Check it out. Okay. Third thing was Triangle Strategy, which you actually downloaded in the hotel room. I saw that you said the story was mad long.
yeah. So I've done probably 3 story battles in the. Well, see, okay. If I didn't skip cutscenes, that would be 3 story battles in probably like 6 hours.
Jesus Christ.
There is a lot of talk. And like I understand they had the world build and things like that. It's like all about the Salt Iron Wars and whatever. Everyone has lore. There's a big mechanic in it that like every decision you make changes your convictions. And like that will kind of guide where you go through the story. There's a certain point like where everybody has to vote for where we're going next, and you can persuade. Like it's usually like split down the middle, and you can persuade one side to like, hey, I actually really want to go here. And you can try to persuade them, which doesn't mean it's always going to work, and you don't actually get to see how everyone votes until the end. I've had to do that once so far. The persuasion, I mean, there's really cool mechanics in the game. There just is too much dialogue, and I tweeted that, and somebody was like, "Well, it's a story game." Yes, but it's a game, bro. It's
there's way too much.
It is a game. There is definitely such thing as too much exposition in a game. You know what I mean? Like I just like you don't get a much payoff on the action. Like I feel like games that kind of balanced out having a lot of story but then having good gameplay is like the first 2 Metal Gear Solids, right? Like there's a lot of story in there, obviously, but you also get to play the game a decent amount. And so like that makes sense to me. When you're doing this game, the first 3 battles, first of all, are super short. Like it's like you're on a bridge fighting some bandits, and they're like you beat them up in like 7-8 turns. And then like the second battle is a mock battle, because like it's like the cities are coming together, and like that's just how they like Coliseum type. And the third battle, I forgot what we were doing yet, what we're doing for that one, but I didn't even do that one yet because I actually went and back to my encampment thing, and the encampment, it has like training battles. So I was like, thank God I can finally play the game.
Do something, right? But even the training battles are just like they're set up to show you one thing, so they're not like I don't know.
Pretty much. The first one was like position your units to pincer people, right? So like, because if you have one unit behind the person and then you attack from the other side, they'll both attack.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, sick. And then the second battle was like beat mages. Because like learn how to play against people who are ranged or whatever. And it's like, all right, cool. Okay. This is great. But like the overall gameplay, the actual like, turn-based Final Fantasy type or Final Fantasy Tactics type shit, it's good. It's good. It's very fun. I feel like right now I have like 4 or 5 different classes. I know you get more. You have to. There's a level up system for each class specifically. So you have to like kind of spend your resources on that at some point in time.
Sure.
But I know for a fact if I did not start skipping cutscenes, I just would. I don't think I would be. I think I'll probably just quit by now.
Right.
Like I'm not reading the story. I don't care. I would just want to play the game. I'll go back and watch a video for it whenever I finish it. The one thing that you do, like you eventually have to like kind of put your character will have to like respond back. And during those times, you can hit the L button and read the log. So I'll read up like 5-6 lines.
Okay.
And then like respond based off of that. But yeah, just there's too much talking. It's maybe this maybe I'm just not an RPG player like that too, because like on the same vein, I stopped playing Octopath Traveler, but I think that was mostly because I just played that game wrong. They apparently you weren't supposed to play every single version of it or every story.
Okay.
Yeah, you were just kind of supposed to, I guess, pick one or two and just go with it. But I went and did everyone's chapter 1, then I did everyone's chapter 2, and then as I was getting to chapter 3, I was already burnt out, so I was like, never mind, I don't want to play anymore.
I guess they wanted you to beat it 8 times, but like go all the way through it once and then twice.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a game you can always come back to when you want a different story, but like I didn't think about that like that. I also thought that the stories would eventually like intertwine.
Sure.
And they don't until like the very end, so that's kind of missed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just I like RPG. I like action RPGs. And I can sit through RPG cutscenes if that means I will get a lot of action after that. Like I played Tales of Arise, and Tales of Arise has a lot of cutscenes too.
Sure.
But I like those cutscenes. Some of them were comic book style, and I kind of skipped through those. But like for the animated cutscenes, they were sick. And then you get to go out in the world and mash buttons on enemies. Like that's wonderful. But in this game so far, I'm pretty sure I'm like 4 hours in, and I fought 3 different battles. Like, and this is with me skipping, so. That's just, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And there's like little paraphrases, like when you go back, you can pretty much find out what the story is like in like a very, very small way by like kind of going back and reading like the chapter synopsis. And that is cool, but I feel like I want to know more about the story, but not in the way that they're giving it to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I played the demo when it came out. And I think the demo was like 3 battles, but I was mashing the A button, and it was like an hour and a half, and it was insane. Like, I just couldn't, because, like, you know, it loads up a scene, and then 2 people are talking back and forth, and then a character walks in, which is an animation, and then that person gets skipped, and then he walks away, and then, like, it was a total nightmare, and it turned me totally off from the game. So the fact that it only got worse, apparently, is like, I'm glad I didn't play it. I don't know. I love tactics. I love that style of game, but I don't have the patience anymore, dude. It's just way too much.
I think that's, to me, that's specifically a playing game now. I don't think you're ever going to catch, like, until I run out of games to play at my house on my, like, PS5 or, like, you know, my PC, like, that's a playing game. And so with that being a playing game, I might not get a chance to play it until, what, Genesis? Wait, no, I'm going to Brawlhalla next weekend, but that's like a 2-hour flight at most to Atlanta, so may drop another 4 hours in there at some point in time, but that really put me off. Like the demo had me or not the demo. I didn't even play the demo because I don't normally like playing demo. I was just like, all right, let me hop in. But the trailer had me so hyped. I was like, finally, there's another tactics game. I love tactics. You know what I mean? Like. I kind of just love like grid-based games just in general. So like tactics, mystery dungeons. I've been playing this other game called Crown Trick. It's like a roguelike. Oh, it's like Crypto Necrodancer except without the necrodancing, but it's still like you know, people only move when you move. And that game, all those games are fun. But yeah, just if I can't get to this is for any game ever though. If I can't get to the game in a reasonable amount of time, then I'm already turned off.
Right.
Like that's just there's such thing as too much story, and like I know you guys. There's a lot of people out there that love that, and that works for definitely a game type like you know Telltale games. You hit a button, 19 minutes of cutscenes, hit another button, 19 but that's what the game is. Like that's what you sold me.
Yeah,
you sold me a tactics game, and I'm getting like 7 Harry Potter's books worth of content in this.
It's way too much. Like, it just the dialogue, the talking, all the needless stuff. Because there's just, I don't need all of this exposition. It's like, just get me into the next fight. Apparently, Floormat says it's the most downloaded Switch game in Japan. Good for them.
I'm going to look that up, man. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Japan will be the type to sit through this and be like, man, I played, that was a fun game. Like, bro, you didn't even get it. Like, in a stream of this game, you could probably hit 4 hours of dialogue without actually ever hitting a battle.
Jesus Christ.
Like, if you actually watched and like talked about it or reacted to it or whatever, yeah, no, I think you can. Because like there's another part of the game I forgot, but like there's certain, like you go to a story, like there's red stories and there's green stories. Green stories are optional. I don't know if the green stories are ever battles because I've only done 2 green stories and they both were just dialogue. Okay. But the red stories are main story. So sometimes the red story will just be an actual cutscene, and then you finish that one.
Oh, dude, that would piss me off. If I think I'm finally gonna play the game, it's like, dude, no, I don't.
Well, you know when you're gonna actually get to play because like it gives you like there's the little swords crossed and a recommended.
Okay.
So you know when you're gonna get to play, but there's a 50-50 on the red stories where will you just get a full cutscene or will you get cutscene plus the exploration part is where you walk around and talk to people in the town and get extra shit that's like shining on the ground and whatnot. That part's pretty cool. That part's pretty nice. You get some extra stuff. You can learn a little more about the game if you want, because most of the time you talk to people, it's like 1 or 2 liners, which is like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I don't appreciate that on top of these, full movie worth of cutscenes that I'm getting. So yeah, it's
No, that's obnoxious.
It's a lot.
No, that would piss me off. I don't know. I'm not gonna try it. I don't see any, and it makes me sad too, because like I said, this is a game that, I thought I'd be into, that I thought I would want to try, but I don't know. It sounds like it's just not good. So
yeah, well, it's got 81 out of 100 right now. Metacritic, Nintendo World Report gives it 9.5 out of 10, but that's just a boost because Nintendo Life gives it 9 out of 10. Games Radar gives it 3.5 stars out of 5, and that sounds like the best score to me. I think I could safely give it a 3 to 3.5 out of 5, where it probably would be a 4 if there was way less cutscenes.
Sure.
And once I get a little deeper in, maybe like some of the customization will open up and boost that star up. But yeah, you're if I'm having to skip this much of the game, that sucks, dude. Like,
yeah.
That actually sucks.
Nah, I wouldn't be into that. So, okay, well, I'm sad because I was really looking forward to it. I wanted to play a game like this, but
just hit the boost on it, baby.
I don't
boost.
I'm not
skip the boost button.
It's not gonna make any sense then. That's the other problem, is when you play a game like that, you gotta have some kind of like grounding. But
yeah, again, like I think there's ways to stay at least somewhat like current. But yeah, you won't know everybody. Like the prince. The only scene I know is that like the redhead girl or the pink-haired pyromancer is actually supposed to be my wife because I'm Saronia or whatever, or Serenoa. I'm the sword guy. Okay. And then the guy who rides the horse is like supposed to be my buddy or whatever, but from a different kingdom. So later on in the game, I talked to his brother, and I was like, like it was in this like the cutscene where they gave me 3 options, and the option I picked was basically like, hopefully we can be friends like you, me, and your brother. And this nigga got mad at me, bro. He was like,
well, you shouldn't have pissed him off.
He was like, you've already skirted the lines or whatever of like whatever your camaraderie or whatever. He was like, do not try to do this with me too. And I was like, what the dude? All right, man. So yeah, it was that part kind of threw me off, but I think that's also can be pretty funny, like me not knowing anything.
Sure, yeah. I kind of like it because like that. If they just react the way that you expect them to, it's not interesting. But if they have like quirks to them, that's cool. So
yeah. But either way, yeah. Sense. I mean, if you decide to ever get it, like, yeah, just hit the boost. But you probably won't. So just wait until the next Tactic games. There's going to be another one. I know it.
Hopefully one day. I know Metal Slug is coming out with a tactics game at some point, and thank God.
Actually.
Yeah. There's a Metal Slug Tactics that keeps getting teased. So
Ooh.
I'm excited for that one because
Imagine if that actually had mad story, though.
Well, I was gonna say Metal Slug is all action all the time, so hopefully that's the case.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for today. Kind of a shorter episode. I think we're both a little low energy after the week that we had. So I'm gonna go rest my voice. As you guys can tell, I'm still a little still a little out there.
Well,
So.
I gotta watch. I gotta get these subs back. So we watched some dating shows, man. We're back to reacting. Y'all want to watch something funny? It's called Take Me Out. It's got George Lopez as a host, but we only got one episode left. So now we're going to the UK, where they're probably gonna be much ruder over there. But that's great because that makes for good TV. So come on over to the TKbreezy channel after this, and let's hang out. Yeah.
Perfect. There you go. I'm gonna be on tonight talking about Summit, watching the Evo reveal and blah blah blah. So yeah, go back to TK though because he's streaming. But that's gonna do it for this show. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.